Hi there, my name is Jennifer Kilmer, and I'm just coming to you online from Canada. I am a healer and intuitive channel for a galactic stream of beings. It's not something that I talk about a lot in my deliveries, but I think it's important at this time to really kind of begin to open our minds to that consciousness and what it means at this point in humanity's evolution. And so, what I'd like to begin by doing is introducing myself, and then I'm going to be posting a variety of healing meditations to help support those that are awakening and kind of coming up to this time and questioning what's this about, what does this mean for me, what's my role in the awakening process, and how can I best help myself through this experience and help my family. So I'll begin at the start of my own journey. In 2003, I had a divine awakening, which led me, which was born out of a time of crisis. So not different than this, but certainly it was a personal crisis, not global. And from that nodal point, I began to seek support, and I began in the realms of psychology and found help, but was unsatisfied with my progress. So I actually met a healer or intuitive channel, and within an hour, I was being affirmed with knowing of my own innate abilities to heal myself, and I came into the understanding that this is something that is divine in origin, it's organic, and it's open to all who are interested in taking that path. And it was called Reiki. So I trained as a Reiki master. And then over the course of the years, I spent all my time every day healing myself, working through my own shadow work, which I didn't know that was the word that I was, or that was what I was doing. But I was unwinding all of those kind of programs, those inner doubts, the traumas, the story of the victim, all of my personal pain. And so what I did is I liberated, and it took time, and it was I kind of broke it out in increments of like goals of a week and a month and quarterly goals and biannually and annually. And I had all of these kind of almost like visual or visions of what I wanted to achieve and how I wanted to get there. And so I kind of dwelled in that area for many, many years until I could no longer contain my gifts. I was becoming overwhelmed with the energy. I wasn't able to put it out, or I wasn't able to release it through my hands. It was just through my voice. So I was doing a lot of, coaching and supporting my friends, but I wasn't doing it with clients. So eventually I stepped out into the public and I started offering my services as a healer and an intuitive channel. And from that place, I continued to grow in my own soul growth. I learned through my clients, I learned kind of through my continual, spiritual studies in all areas. And that ranges from Christianity to Egyptian, the Egyptian god goddesses, Taoism, Buddhism, everything and anything, nature. I have immersed myself and really found the things that spoke to me, and that's really what the path is. It's very personal. It's not something that I feel one path would do a disservice to exclude others. There's so much overlapping in all of the paths to home, if you want to call it that, the North Node going home, our soul. But they all have such beautiful teachings. And so I really encourage all of you to pick one, explore it. And if you are interested in another, explore another. So there's just so much goodness to find in all of the paths. I have a very eclectic approach to spirituality. And so after a while, I decided about 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to offer healing circles. And the vision and the guidance that was coming down was to offer it, and it's primarily to women. There are some men that have participated as well, but it was an opportunity for us to come together, and it started with as many as 3 people, and sometimes I have 20, sometimes I've had 70, but to gather with people who are all questioning or asking the same question: who am I, and how can I help myself? And so in these circles, I would lead people through guided meditations. And in the beginning, I would scribe them, prepare them. They were very much a read experience. And now I have gotten to a place where it is a complete immersion experience. So I often get the theme of the meditation. I would used to get it a couple days before, and then sometimes as I walk in the door. So guidance comes when guidance comes, but it's always there. And as I have each year that goes by, have stronger and stronger connection to the beings of light, and that goes across the board. So I work with masters from all paths. So anyone from like Mother Mary to Kuan Yin to the archangels, your own personal angels, Ganesh, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Buddha, Christ. So all of the beings of light that have come and supported humanity over the course of evolution. And so as these beings of light are brought into the healing experience, they bring would say a vibration or a frequency of expression. And within each frequency of expression is probably the theme of which we're working on. So Mother Mary being and Kuan Yin being beings of the Divine Mother energy, mercy, support, working with children. We could be working with energies of compassion. So all kinds of energies that lend itself to that theme that we're working on. So as you go through my YouTube videos and tap into the meditations, I want you to approach them with curiosity. So if this is not something you've been exposed to before, perhaps like when I reference intergalactic energies or star beings, just perhaps approach it with curiosity, an opportunity to learn. Of course, practice discernment. If it appeals to you, take it in. If not, why not just shelve it with the intention that perhaps someday I'll look at that. Who hasn't had a book that they have purchased, not read, or attempted to read, and it just wasn't the right timing, and then upon a passage of time, they go back to the shelf, pull it down, and then it's exactly what they needed. And so these nodal points present themselves very organically. Like the most important thing that you can do is listen to that feeling within your body. So assessing, does this feel right? And I know that's kind of like kind of airy-fairy sounding, but I have to say, when we begin to tap into our feelings with a very detached, curious approach, so we're not overly invested or overly driven by them, or overly pushing our feelings, but if we can just be the watcher, and all the philosophies of meditation talk about being the watcher. If we can just learn to experience and respect our intuition and our feelings, we tap into the most important compass within, and that's that inner guru, inner wise energy, that compass that always points us home and always is helping us to navigate the next best step in our soul's evolution. So here I am taking the next step for my soul's evolution, which is to step out onto social media, step out of my comfort zone in some ways. I'm used to, being and interacting with people face to face, whether it be one-on-one or at a retreat or in circles. But I think it's first of all, it's no longer an option with self isolation, but I think the message is time to do my part and to help spread the good word. And the good word is that there is a way out of the trappings of karma. Some people have referenced it as karma, the wheel of illusion, anything that keeps you in a redundance kind of cycle, like a repeating. What is it? I can't remember the saying, but when we do something over and over and over again, expecting a different result. But basically, anything that can push you out of this ride into a sovereign, free experience where you're making a decision, where you're being guided free from any agenda. So you're really exercising your free will. Because I think for a long time, people don't understand that the current state of the earth and how it's been constructed, we have been enslaved by, and I'm not a politician, but just the patterns. You get up, you have a cup of coffee or whatever, you get dressed, you get your kids after school, or you get yourself off to work, you have lunch, you come home, you isolate, you watch TV, you go to bed, and you repeat. And so that wheel, that kind of wheel or treadmill of life seems lifeless and a little bit inorganic. And it's true, it really is. So this is a time where I'm going to show you how to get off that wheel. So it doesn't mean that you stop being a master trade that you are, whether it be a nurse or a carpenter or a teacher or a dental assistant. You still can be a participant in your career and playing your part in the area that you're masterful in, but perhaps you can do it with different energy, different intention, and a lot more freedom behind you. So it's just different. So anyway, so my goal for this YouTube channel is to help you achieve a free being state. And so you can come to each decision, as I referenced before, as though it's the first. So it's not hooked into a past pattern, a past memory, a habit, anything like that. You are choosing freely in each moment. So that's my message. I hope to tell you more about all of my stories. I have tons of stories. That's how I teach, is I share my own experiences, some of my clients, in an effort to help you find your truth. Because truly this path is, all I can do is reveal to you my steps. I can share what worked for me, but it's up to you to find your truth. So welcome. I'm really excited to get to know you over the next while. YouTube is new to me, so as I work through the awkwardness of YouTube, please be patient. I will get smoother and a lot more settled as I get more experience, but here we go. Namaste.